All right. Yeah, hope you fresh up and ready for some talk today. I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, which you see my screen clearly, right? Can you put thumbs up if you can see the screen? Yeah, thumb up, please, if you can see the screen. Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, the topic today is progressiveness versus contentment in Buddha view. I just have this interesting thought come up recently because how we're gonna make Buddha teaching really accessible and practical in a very what it call socially engaged and capitalistic world that demand more and more and more all the time. And this idea of progressiveness and contentment, which Buddha he had both. But many times we cannot see clearly how these two things related. So today is not like a conclusion or like a perfect guideline on these two things, but it's more like more of my observation that how progressiveness and contentment can flow along in the way of the Buddha. Like if the Buddha we walk on, Fifth Avenue right now, or how he will uh, practice or how he's going to show example. It's interesting to think about it. So today I'm going to have three main questions to guide my talk today, and we can have more discussion. As I mentioned, it's not a conclusion, it's observation, and we can discuss how we can tap into Buddha wisdom in this world that we need progressiveness. Why contentment is very important. If not, we complain all the time and we not feel anything good. Yeah. So my three main question. Number one, do we need an unsatisfied feeling to be progressive? Do we need to feel like something unhappy? No, we cannot be satisfied with this, like a living wage or racism, this and that. Like we need to tap that unsatisfying. Hmm, that would be like a question that is it wholesome or unwholesome feeling? That unsatisfied feeling is wholesome or unwholesome? We can discuss more about it. But do we need an unsatisfied feeling to be progressive? Like we need to get painful, then we try to find a cure, or we don't need it. And that's the first question. The second one, if we will not rely on unsatisfied feeling to be progressive, so what could be our alternative motivation? That is my second question. That we don't need, we don't want to rely on unhappy time to move forward. So what could be the alternative? Yeah, what would be the other choice that will make us progress, move forward without getting hurt? And the last question, can we feel content and still be progressive at the same time? Hmm, interesting, right? If you already feel content, can you think about be progressive? You already feel satisfied. and how we will be progressive. We will have content feeling. Okay, that's I think that's a three interesting question that we would like to throw into this, Dhamma table, and we will explore it. First one, do we need an unsatisfied feeling to be progressive? You can have your answer, but for me, maybe, not always, maybe. Why? Think about Prince Siddhartha, how he became Buddha. He feel quite unsatisfied with his prince life. If he feel like, oh, I love prince life, and like any prince, and right now we have some drama in the UK royal family, that some prince still okay with that. Some prince, hmm, not quite happy. This is something like a real life prince scenario happening around now in the world, that some still okay with the system, some feel like they need to speak out, they need to try something different. Again, it's not conclusion, it's just observation. So Prince Siddhartha, we call this Prince Siddhartha and the four sights, that he see four things that lead him to enlightenment. As you might be aware, you learn Buddha teaching for some time. He will lock in the palace, but the palace is very big, that his father like I don't want him to be the Buddha, like you be the next great emperor. So don't want him to see any suffering at all. But one day he escaped from the palace and he saw aging person, sickening person, this person like a dying, already dead. And he feel like he's not feeling good. And he start to feel not happy with his life. And then he saw the last person, ascetic, and that time Buddhism or Buddha not available yet. Actually, it's a return of Buddha teaching, like a cycle. But during that period, like a Buddha teaching kind of gone. The middle way is not there. You want to be happy, it's too extreme. Self-mortification, very uh, rustic, very kind of, you know, forest style life to be happy. And the other one is sensual pleasure. You entertain yourself in five senses to be happy. So Princess Tata, he saw the first three and feel not good about his life. And then he saw the last one that looked peaceful, and that made him think, hmm, how I will step out from this cycle. Do we need an unsatisfied feeling to be progressive? Maybe. And from this observation, it's kind of interesting. I'm sure many ones of you have this experience, that you experience some hardship when you were young or when you grow up, and you feel like not so happy with what happening, and you have spiritual transformation. For me, I have a hardship. Um, More than 20 years ago, I read a lot of Western book, and to be rich, to be, I read those things like Think and Go Rich, Napoleon Hill, and Dale Carnegie, How to Be Happy and Stop Worrying. Those like a standard Western book, and I thought that to be successful will be good. So I'm number one in my class. I uh, complete all the things that's on the top level in my study year, from number one school in my country. But I have migraine. And in that book, those how-to book doesn't have some prescription. If you try to be rich and you get migraine, how you gonna fix it? Or they didn't talk about those mental health thing that might be a side effect of trying too hard or doesn't know your purpose. I have a spiritual transformation from that experience, and I'm very unsatisfied with my life, very unhappy. Then it kept me entering to the spiritual search. The second one, learning and spiritual transformation. If you will see from what Prince Siddhartha story I just shared with you, he himself, he didn't go through aging, sickening, and dying himself. Can you follow me? He saw that, but he didn't get experience of aging himself, sickening himself, or dying himself. So that he didn't go through that hardship to have spiritual transformation. He learned. He learned from that. He saw, and that's why we gather every Saturday and learn some wisdom. That in Thai we have this saying that if you see someone get burned, yeah, by like fire, or you don't need to get burned to understand that the fire is hot, right? That is Thai old saying that you can take a look, you can learn, you can read, you can reflect from someone else, and it's like you uh, fasten the trap of spiritual transformation, and you can jump over those unnecessary hardship if you're wise enough that you don't need to get burned to be careful of the fire, right? You can learn and then, okay, not touch it and move to something else. So when we reflect, we need unsatisfied feeling or not? Maybe not. It might be through hardship, it might be through your learning process. So it leads to the second question. If we will not rely on unsatisfied feeling to be progressive, so what could be our alternative motivation? In case of Prince Siddhartha, it's quite clear that he has unsatisfied feeling, right? Because he saw and then he reflect back, he's not happy, he's not satisfied. He has everything as a prince, but he's not satisfied. He knew the impermanent. He knew that that's a drama. All the beautiful thing mean nothing to me. When I would get old, when I would get sick and I'm gonna die, I'm gonna say goodbye to everything, and it's not very happy anymore, right? But in some cases, when we learn wisdom, when we have a chat of someone's life, and we kind of, hmm, it's not unsatisfying, but it just realize, wow, I deserve something better. I can do something different. So it's not that deep into unsatisfied feeling, but it's more like a understanding of that unsatisfied experience of someone else. But you yourself, you not get into that unsatisfied feeling. It is too far. You just realize it and then, okay, I got it. And you need to be dramatic, see that video, review the story again until you get depressed. Or you don't need to. You just touch it and then, okay, I got it. So if we will not rely on unsatisfied feeling, what could be our alternative motivation? Yeah, my observation is wisdom or realization. If we learn more, if we understand more, and if we can have from deeper contemplation every day. There's some Eastern knowledge or Eastern wisdom said, beauty is everywhere, but not every eye can see. Yeah, beauty is everywhere, but not every eye can see. And when I say the eyes, it's not only the physical eye, but your mental, your spiritual eye. Mean one you can let go more, one you can get deeper into your meditation. It's like you have some awakening, you have some realization that, oh, why do that stupid thing for 10 years? Why I keep fighting with that person, or why I keep feeling comparison, like a, why I need to compare myself to that person all the time, maybe consciously, unconsciously, and you feel like, okay, I don't need that, and you just let go. I have another observation how we have a development or progressive tap on wisdom. Buddha talked about two factors. Yeah, I mentioned before in a different section. Buddha said if you want to live a good life, spiritual life, happy life, there are two factors. In Pali, it uses the term yoniso manasikara. The direct translation is wise attention. Not just see, but you see things as they really are, and you have some wisdom on it. Wise attention. Yeah, is simple English is a self-taught. It means you explore wisdom, you explore knowledge, and then you become wiser. You not get burned too often. You get burned a little bit and then you can let go, right? And then the second factor is good friend, kalanamitta, the voice of another. Yeah, Buddha said you want to have good wisdom, self-taught, and then good friend. Yeah, our Saturday class is good friend. Yeah, I can be your good friend, and we can be good friend each other by sharing, experiencing that, and then share. Okay, come to the last question. Can we feel content and still be progressive at the same time? Yeah, I think this is quite a challenging one. If you really feel content, hmm, how about being progressive, right? It like the momentum. Content is like a, okay, I'm fine. Progressive is move on, right? In order to be progressive and content at the same time, we need action, not a comparison. What is that? Many times we do good, but what when we start to compare ourselves to someone else? Sometimes we not feel good, especially if it's quite like emotional, connected to a person, to the situation, then we not feel like to be progressive. We start to feel like, oh, I'm not happy. I don't want to do more action because I'm not happy about it, right? If we keep good action and when a good result come and you feel good about it, you feel content, but with wisdom, okay, this is very important. Once you feel content and you not get a side effect from comparison, so you are not motivated to move forward with the lacking feeling. Can you follow me? Like when you compare and then you feel like oh, why someone else got it? Why someone else Get that one, not me. So you were motivated with the lacking feeling, and along the way, not not feeling so good, like you feel like you are the lower hand. But if you feel content and you not compare, I'm doing my best. Being the best or not, I don't know, but I'm doing my best. And if you will go to a track of comparison your whole life, you will not find real peace and happiness. Because when you compare, it's always, someone else, right? There's a things in the Buddha teaching in Pali Canon, but even someone become a king, so they prepare, no, they compare among the king of different country. And one they become the great emperor. It's interesting in Pali Canon said that great emperor start to see there another kinds of universe that have different kinds of emperor or not. It's like a wow, the greed or the feeling that I must be at the top of the top all the time is right there. Comparing all the time. So to be progressive and content at the same time is possible, but you need action, not comparison. You can take a look to learn, but not to project your temptation to be over you, something like that. But you learn and have a friendly relationship with that person, with that example. This is kind of not definite thing that we can conclude. We can discuss more. Buddha show us that contentment and progressiveness can be, and he had no comparison to anyone. He enlightened already. And then no more, I'm done, I'm enlightened and I don't have greed, hatred, delusion. So he feel content with himself. He feel content that even someone like him, someone don't like him, he doesn't care. He just know this knowledge is useful, is beneficial to other people. And he said in Pali Canon, I found a way. I only show it to you, but you need to walk by yourself. That's what he said. So he become very progressive because in those days there's a deep inequality in caste system that people are not equal. Yeah. Once he's a prince, he come from that top level and he announced everyone is equal by dharma, by their action. Oh, that is big resentment or big resistance from the power group that rely on caste system to control the power. But his whole life, he was assassinated. There's a attempted assassination on him, and there's a bad rumor. They try to make him look bad. He doesn't care. He feel content and enlightened. I can help someone else, slow, fast, or a little bit more, or a bit back, or he just continue. And his teaching still available until now, more than 2,500 years, right? And we still have that caste system thing in the world. It just changed name. So Buddha teaching to make a better world is not done. We have a lot of work to do. I would like to end my talk today with this famous kinds of many times. Sometimes I show the picture, sometimes I didn't, right? On the first level at the top, one person try to convince the other side, love, and they kind of complaining and happy. Then the second level from the top, just one person. Oh, yeah, choose love, not hatred. That one person were hated by the rest. But the first person who start love feel content. There are more against, but only one start to realize it. I'm happy. And then on the third level, two persons together who are convinced start to tell the other side love, not hatred. They start to discuss, right? And the last one, more people move to the love side, and there's still someone speak loud. And the last one on the fourth level, at the bottom part, just one person. Then finally, okay, I choose love. You can see from the top level, second level, third level, and then the last one, there's one person who start feel content and not feel like compare that, oh, now the the side that choose love is small comparing to the other side. You just feel good. You just know that this principle, this philosophy, or this idea is good, and I prove it by myself. Someone get it, someone not get it, it's their choice. But my choice is I choose to live this life of wisdom and peace and happiness. You come more happy, you doesn't come yet, it's fine. But I keep be progressive, mean I do not step back. I'm standing here and I just keep doing good every day. One day we might attain nirvana and no return to suffering anymore. Okay, so uh, I think that's it for progressive net versus contentment.